Today I'll be talking about the word family. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, a family is a group of two or more, two people or more, one of whom is a household related by birth, marriage, or adoption, and residing together. However, for the context of this speech and personally, I think family can include anyone who makes you feel at home and comfortable enough to be yourself without judgment. With children, family always begins with parents, but whether they remain family is a question. One goal I believe parents own to their children is emotional security, which comes with managing their own trauma, unconditional love, and their willingness to explore any special needs their children may have. This aligns with safety needs in Maslow hierarchy of needs, the second most important set of needs for humans. There are even some research who thinks this is actually the most important need. Zhang from the School of Psychology of Nanjing University of Chinese Medicine argues that safety worrying is the major reason for mental disorder, many of which can cause deprivation of such psychological needs. While trauma is a terrible thing, being parents means preventing that trauma from being intergenerational trauma. Growing up, my parents have always taught me to be extremely fragile with money. The reason of this is that they grew up in poverty. This may seem like a good thing to some people. However, even when we are in a financially stable position, they were still anxious about money. As a, as a result, I ended up with the same anxiety growing up. I know my parents did the best they did to raise me with the resources they had at the time, but they were not aware that they were passing that anxiety on to me. According to the study on family unification by the Central Care Catholic Family Service, with the traumatic stress resulting from chronic and early interpersonal traumatization and the associated difficulties with forming trusting and open intimate relationships is resolved. Efforts and reunifications between child and parents will be compromised. While my case was less service several, I still felt it effects later on into adulthood. If trauma is not addressed by parents, the child could grow up with a various mental health issue that correlates with not feeling safe and at home in the place they should be. Parents also need to show the children conditional love for them to grow up feeling secure in themselves. As I mentioned before, my parents were quite worried about money as a result. Wanted wanted to make sure I was always on top of my studies and extracurriculars. The results of this was low self-esteem because for the most part from my childhood I was seeking external validation because I believed that my value lied in what I was able to do. My decisions were always based on what other people wanted, not what I wanted. Later on, my family learned to respect what I wanted to study, and it wasn't until this point did I finally feel supported, happy, and less anxious about my actions and how other people would react. My story is supported by researchers at the University of ULADAG, who confirmed that when parents show appreciation and affection towards children exclusively when they display particular behaviors, they not only fail to play a positive reinforcing role in the children's development, but also cause the children to feel vulnerable only under certain special circumstances, thereby hampering the proper development of the children's individualism and self-esteem. When parents only show love conditionally to their children, the children grow without realizing their own intrinsic values, which manifest in many psychological issues down the line. There are many children who have special needs, such as neurodivergent and troubled kids, and may be difficult to help navigate. However, what they need most is a parent who is willing to learn about these needs and are open to raising them a different way. Well, I was never a problematic kid or neurodivergent. I found a story of someone who was considered one. Geoffrey Canada was a poor kid from the Bronx who used to always get into fights. However, he was able to turn his life around because a couple of teachers and family members saw something underneath his teenage tough guy act, spotted his fascination with reading and make sure he had a great book screen. Later in his life, he and dedicated it to going back into the most devastated communities in America and making sure kids like him they get written off. No one is perfect, not even parents. However, becoming a parent is a big responsibility, and part of this responsibility includes providing the child many needs, including safety needs as outlined in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Parents can do this by managing their own trauma, giving unconditional love, and having the willingness to learn about their child's in order to help them grow.